Hello all, I'm Suyash Goyal, an educator on Unacademy. You can follow me on Unacademy Learning app where you can find my other courses as well. This lesson is on various different interesting words. We'll be talking about their meanings, we'll be talking about how to use them in the sentences, we'll be talking about the synonyms, antonyms of those words at the same time. So please do not forget to rate, review and share this lesson. And also please do not forget to subscribe to Unacademy. And this is my profile, and here is the link where you can just follow me. You can find the same link in the description of this video also. Please do not forget to shoot all your questions, any doubt, any query which you are having in your mind related to English. You can just shoot that in the comment box below, and all your queries will be answered for sure. So moving on, in this lecture also we'll be talking about some more interesting words, their meanings, their usage, and the synonyms and the antonyms of those words. So here we have one very common word which we all are almost familiar with, that is disaster. But we are familiar with this word only in one sense, that is we call natural disaster. Whenever we are having any natural disaster, like whenever we are having any flood, okay, whenever we are having any landslide or an earthquake, then we call those things are actually disaster. That is what we think, but it is not like that. Any sudden accident that actually causes great damage, any sudden accident that actually causes great damage is actually regarded as a disaster. Now if a road accident is taking place, now that is also a disaster, but that is a man-made disaster. But when I'm talking about flood, when I'm talking about volcanic eruption, when I'm talking about earthquake, when I'm talking about landslides, avalanche, when I'm talking about all these things, these are what? These are natural disasters. And the other what we have is man-made disasters. Okay, so anything which a sudden accident that actually causes great damage to life and to the property, then we call it disaster. For example, thousands died in the disaster. Now this disaster could be anything, it could be a car accident, it could be a road accident, it could be flood, it could be it could be an earthquake, or it could be any other disaster. Okay, so that depends on the type of disaster I'm talking about. Now synonyms for the same is misfortune and calamity. Now when I'm talking about misfortune, it is something like a sort of unfortunate condition or an unfortunate event, an event which is not fortunate, which is unfortunate event which happened, some problem which occurred. So that is what we call misfortune. Okay, just like disaster. Then we have calamity. Now when I'm talking about calamity, then it is also the natural disaster which we call about natural calamity or man-made calamity which we talk about. Okay, then we have antonyms. Antonyms are the opposite words. So we have prosperity as the antonym and happiness. Obviously when a disaster is there, then it is a sudden accident that causes damage. Okay, so the antonyms could be happiness, because disaster will actually bring sadness all over. So happiness could be a antonym for that. And the next is prosperity. Now prosperity means a state of being prosperous. And what is prosperous? When you are very flourishing financially. That is what prosperity is. Why this is an antonym? Because when I'm talking about disaster, then it will actually degrade your property and the lives of the people. Okay, it will actually just finish it. And when I'm talking about prosperity, then it means to just rise. Okay, to just flourish. Okay, that is what prosperity means. That is why prosperity is the antonym for this. Okay, so the next one is delicious. When I'm talking about delicious, now you all must be very familiar with this word delicious. That means having a very pleasant taste or smell. When I'm talking about some food item, then we actually use this word delicious. That means having a very pleasant taste or a very pleasant smell, mouth-watering thing, something like that, which just awesome to eat and you just love it to eat, something like that. Okay, like this. For example, we have who cooked this? Who cooked this? It's delicious. Who cooked this? It's delicious. Means it's having very pleasant taste, its smell is awesome, and it's actually mouth watering. Okay, the synonyms for the same is tasteful. Yeah, having very pleasant taste, that is tasteful. And the next is appetizing. Now what is appetizing? Appetizing actually means that it actually means stimulating one's appetite, mouth watering, something which is mouth watering, something which is tempting, you just love it, it brings it actually gets some water in your mouth by just looking at it, something like that, it's awesome, you just love to eat it. Okay, so that is what we call appetizing. Then we have Antonyms: something which is delicious is tasteful, and something which is not delicious, it would be distasteful. There will be no taste in that. And the next is inedible. Now when I'm saying inedible, then it actually means that something which is not fit or suitable for eating. You cannot eat it. It is not fit for eating. You should not eat it. So when I'm saying delicious, that means a perfect food to eat, awesome smell, pleasant taste. And when I'm saying inedible, that means a food which is not fit to eat. Okay. The next one is dedicate. Again, we are familiar with this word. It means when you are devoted to a particular task. Okay, when you are concerned, when you are determined towards a particular task, and you will just do it anyhow. You are very much dedicated towards it. That means you are determined towards it, and you will just do it anyhow. Okay, that is what we call devote. And the example for this is, he dedicated his life helping the poor. Now he was very much concerned about the poor, and he was very determined to help the poor, and that is why he dedicated his life to helping the poor. You know, he always helped the poor only in his life, in his whole life, up to his last breath. Okay, the synonyms for this is devote. Okay, when you are devoted to something. And the next is loyal, when you are loyal to something. Okay, that means when you are showing firm and constant support to something. That is what dedicate is, and that is what loyal is. Okay, when you are showing constant support to a person or to an institution or to something else. Okay, then we call then we have some antonyms like refuse. Okay, now what is this refuse? It means when you are not willing to do something, when you just say no, a simple no. When you are saying dedication or dedicated, that means you are dedicated, you are determined to do that thing. And when you are saying refuse, that means you say a single no, simple no towards that thing. Okay, the next is negate. Now what is negate? It also means that when you make something ineffective. Okay, when you make something ineffective, like when you nullify the effect of something. When I'm saying dedication, you are dedicated towards something. That means you are supporting that thing continuously. You are supporting that thing continuously. Okay, towards positivity. You are just taking that thing in a long go. You are taking that thing in a positive way. And when I'm saying negate, then you are actually taking that thing in a negative way. You are trying to nullify. You are just trying to stop that thing. You are trying to finish that thing. Okay, that is what we call negate. That is make ineffective. Okay. So that's all for this lecture, and we'll be talking about some more words in the next lecture. Thank you very much. This is Suyash Koyal signing off.